What is going on, everybody? Montie here with another Audible Heat quick tip tutorial. Today I am just going to be showing you guys some quick ways that you can improve your workflow when recording. Just showing you guys a couple buttons that are really useful that you can use when recording to just speed it up a little bit, you know what I mean? So we're just going to hop right into it today. So the first buttons that I'm going to show you just to speed up your workflow, you have everything ready to go, you're ready to record, but you just want to record a little bit faster. The first thing that you could do, setting up a different playlist for yourself. You can set up a playlist, click this playlist button right here. And what happens is when you're recording, you can do multiple takes and you can just add them into this playlist folder and you can use them or come back to them later. Say you have somebody who does multiple takes or you want to do multiple takes, you could just throw them in there and use them later. So I'll give you an example. Say I just wanted to record right here. Whoa. Oh, yeah. And then I was like, all right, well, I want to just throw it right there. Then you won't hear it, and you can do a whole another take right there. You don't have to worry about it. It'll just keep adding folders for you, so you can just keep adding to it. No matter how many layers you do, it'll just keep adding for you. There you go. So that's what that button is for. Very easy to use. Another quick trick that I can show you is with your record button. They have different options. If you right click, you have normal, you have loop, you have destructive, and you have quick punch. Personally, if you switch over to quick punch, it makes it so much easier because when you're recording, no matter what is, as long as you have a track arm to record, it will record it for you as long as you click record throughout your playback or throughout while you're recording. So say I'm recording and I press record and I'm like doing something else and I look and I'm like, oh crap, I didn't click record. Hit control space, or you could just click the record button up here. It'll start recording. And the cool thing is that it picked up everything that I said. So that's a cool thing about that button right there. But when you have your track armed, it does kind of limit you to what you can do with your plugins. Like, as it's recording, you can't, So this is really just mainly for recording. If you want to switch it back to normal when you're editing and all that, you can go ahead and do that, or just turn off your arm on your record track. You can do whatever again. So yeah, that's just a quick trick with that. And then you have loop, bang bang. If you loop it, you can just kind of pick a section and it'll loop for you. So it'll just loop for you. Very helpful when it comes to mixing. That's just another button that you can use. Another quick one that is a good button to use is this right here, which is your layered editing. What makes this useful is that if you're doing a lot of punching in, whoa, yeah. You could put it here, whoa, and you can put it on top of here, but, if you didn't have that on, then you would lose this if you moved it, but if you do have it on, it'll just kind of go right on top of it, and then you can bring it back. It's just another quick button that you can use. Another good, easy button that you could use. This is kind of like a hotkey type of deal right here, but if you click Control U, it'll bring up your strip silence. And this right here is to take out all this dead space. So you can set it pretty well to the point where you can take out all your dead space. I usually set mine to about -30 dB, and then you click strip, and then it'll take out all the dead space, all the, open gaps and stuff like that for you, so you don't have to go individually taking them out, because that does require a lot of time if you want to just kind of go in and just start taking out all this little stuff. It does take a lot more time, but there are some that it won't catch, or like a heavier breath it won't catch. So just make sure you're still, going in. Another one that's quick and good, if you highlight all of your vocals, so say you have all these that you just stripped or something, and you want to put faders in and out on them, you click Control F, and it'll pull up this batch fades window right here, and you can adjust the length of them, create new fade and outs. There's a whole lot of different, EQ curves and stuff that you can change it to. There's a whole lot of different cool curves that you can change it to, and you can adjust the time all you want, and it's very easy. You just click OK, and then it'll put on fades on everything for you. So that's another really quick, easy button that you can use. Another button that I found super useful, I don't know if anybody else finds it very useful, but this link time and selection button is useful because that allows you to kind of move around and play where you want it to play. So if you're recording, that can be really useful, because if you turn it off, I can click over here, but it's still going to play over there. So to me, having this on is really useful. And then turning this off, automation follows edit. To me, that can kind of get in my way sometimes, because I have automations, like on my template, I have automation set with like auto panning and stuff in certain areas. And so I might put something down in like an ad lib track or something where there's an auto pan, and then when I bring it back, it just brings that pan with it. And I just don't like that. So I like to turn this button off. Personally, that's just me. Everybody's different. But tab to transients. This is another button that could be pretty useful. So next thing that I'm going to show you is the grid. The grid is a pretty useful tool if you ask me. Let's finding tempo as well. So I think finding tempo goes into that. So to find your tempo, it's pretty easy. If you just know how to, like, your basic music theory, which if you're an engineer, you should be able to find tempo just by tapping. So you could just click this button or click this, number right here to highlight, play your song, and you can click T on your keyboard. And you might not get it exactly right. You might not get it 100% on the dot, but it'll get you around the range that you're supposed to be, as long as you know how to count tempo. You know what I mean? That's pretty much how you can find your tempo. You have your count off button here, which what this does is this starts a count off clock for you. This can become useful if you want to start right at the beginning of the song, or if you're trying to record yourself, run back and forth to the booth, whatever. I mean, or if you don't record yourself right in front of you, it'll just create a count off clock for you. And this is how, if you double click where it says, if you double click anywhere up here, honestly, you can change how many bars, change all these different options, and the count off, it'll start, you know what I'm saying, it'll do a little count off for you, and it'll go for you. The next button is the grid and the nudge. So if you utilize these when it comes to recording, it can really speed up your process. So if you change it all the way to bar, so say you have like a hook over here, so for instance, this hook had to be dragged over, right? So I'm gonna highlight what I need from that hook, and then it's really easy to just drag it on over. You see, it's very easy, a lot easier to drag it on over compared to, so these buttons right here, slip, real grid, spot, shuffle. Slip and real grid are the only two I really ever worry about. Slip is moving it wherever freely, which that can mess you up. Or real grid or just grid, you have different options. Real grid or grid will snap it right to the grid and make it a lot easier to move around, but you have to make sure your tempo is on point, or else this will get messed up. So just make sure you are paying attention and that this is on point. Personally, in my opinion, I think it is just easiest if you just set up a pretty, pre-made template for yourself, and then just kind of get comfortable on that. But those were pretty much it. I'm gonna switch screens. Yeah, so that was pretty much it. Honestly, in my opinion, those were just easy buttons that you could use to just make your workflow go a little bit faster. They help make my workflow go a little bit faster. A couple other hotkeys that I'm going to throw in there for you is holding Alt and scrolling with your mouse will zoom in and out. So hold Alt and you scroll, that will zoom in and out. Hold Shift Alt, and you can make these bigger and smaller so you can see these better. That's another good little hotkey for you. One that's another useful thing, if you hit, say you wanted to put all these into one thing, say you want to put both of these into the vocal track, you hit Shift Alt, and then you just place it where you want it to go, and they're both gonna go there. So both of those will go to the same thing. I already have them placed where they have to be, but that's another good, easy trick for you. Another hotkey for you if you mess up. Whoa. Oh, no, I messed up. Control Z, quick hotkey, that'll undo. Control Z. And if you accidentally undo something that you didn't want to undo, Shift Control Z will bring it back for you. We'll redo. Okay, so those are two quick hotkeys for you. So Control Z to undo and Shift Control Z to redo. Bang, bang. It's an easy hotkey for you. Another thing that you want to pay attention to is having this little box up here, this AZ box highlighted. You want to make sure that this is highlighted because this is going to be your quick keys. So if you want to go to your cut tool, so say, yeah, you just want to cut, switch this. If you want to do something like this, switch your grid to something smaller so you could see more. Say I want to cut this, B, bam, so it just makes some of your hotkeys a lot faster to, get to. Another hotkey for you is if you hold down Control, you'll go into slip mode. So if you are on real grid, this is just how I work. I work on real grid, and then I use this if I have to slip. I just hold down Control, and then I can turn it into slip mode, and I can go ahead and delete out what I need. So yeah, so those were a lot of just quick hotkeys for you. I hope this helped. Until the next video, I am Montie on the track from All Your Energy Recording. This has been an Audible Heat quick tip tutorial. Till next time, peace.